Our universe is full of unimaginable mysteries that we have yet to discover. One of the most intriguing phenomena that has captured the imagination of scientists and the public alike is the Big Crunch. This hypothetical event is thought to be the ultimate fate of the universe, and it has been the subject of intense study and speculation of decades. It is the opposite of Big Bang, which explains the creation of universe. The Big Crunch suggests that the universe will eventually collapse inward, returning to its initial state of singularity. In this episode of Veracity, we will deep dive into this fascinating concept of the Big Crunch. So without further ado, let's get started. What is Big Crunch and how does it work? The Big Crunch theory is based on the concept of universe's density. The universe's density determines whether the universe will expand forever, collapse inward, or reach a state of equilibrium. If the universe's density is greater than the critical density, the universe will eventually collapse inward. One piece of evidence that supports the Big Crunch theory is the observation that the universe's expansion rate is slowing down. This suggests that the universe's gravity is slowly winning the battle against the expansion of the universe. Origin of the Big Crunch. The Big Crunch theory is based on an idea that universe is not infinite, but rather has a finite size and will eventually collapse in on itself. This idea dates back to the early 20th century, where scientists first began to explore the concept of an expanding universe. In 1929, Edwin Hubble discovered that distant galaxies were moving away from us at a rate of proportional to their distance. This observation led to the development of the Big Bang theory, which posits that the universe began as a single point and has been expanding ever since. However, if the universe is expanding, what will happen in the far future? Will it continue to expand indefinitely, or will it eventually slow down and collapse back on itself? The answer to this question depends on the total amount of matter in the universe. If there is enough matter, then the gravitational force of all that matter will eventually overcome the force of the universe's expansion, causing the universe to collapse in on itself in a catastrophic event known as Big Crunch. How long until the Big Crunch? The timeline of the Big Crunch is difficult to predict as it depends on the universe's density, which is still unknown, but scientists have estimated that universe's density is close to the critical density. Therefore, the possibility of Big Crunch cannot be ruled out. However, some estimates suggest that the Big Crunch could occur in tens of billions of years. Consequences of the Big Crunch. If the Big Crunch were to occur, it would have profound consequences for the universe as we know it. The collapse would be so massive that it would ultimately result in the entire universe being compressed into a single point, just as it was in the Big Bang. This would mark the end of the current universe and the beginning of the new one. However, the Big Crunch would not be a peaceful event. As the universe collapsed, the gravitational force would cause all the matter to be compressed into an incredibly dense and hot state. This would likely result in the formation of a massive black hole at the center of the universe, which would continue to grow as it consumed more and more matter. Eventually, the black hole would become so massive that it would consume everything in the universe, leaving nothing behind. What will happen after the Big Crunch? After the Big Crunch, the universe will begin a new cycle with another Big Bang occurring, and the universe will begin to expand again. This cycle of expansion and collapse is known as the Big Bounce theory. Latest research on the Big Crunch. While the Big Crunch remains a hypothetical event, scientists are continuing to study the fate of the universe in order to better understand its ultimate destiny. One area of the research is the study of dark matter and dark energy, which are believed to make up the majority of the universe's mass energy content. By studying the properties of the dark matter and dark energy, scientists hope to gain a better understanding of the future evolution of the universe. Another area of research is the study of cosmic inflation, which is thought to have occurred in the early moments of the universe's existence. Cosmic inflation is believed to have caused the universe to expand rapidly, but it may also have left behind subtle traces that can be observed today. By studying these traces, scientists hope to gain insights into the nature of the universe and its ultimate fate. Is there any evidence against the Big Crunch theory, and will the universe continue to expand forever? The discovery of dark energy has thrown the Big Crunch theory into question. Dark energy is a mysterious force that is accelerating the universe's expansion, making it less likely that the universe will collapse inward. However, the exact nature of dark energy is still unknown, and more research is needed to determine its effect on the fate of the universe. And yes, there are other theories that suggest that the universe will continue to expand forever. One of these theories is the heat death theory, which suggests that the universe will eventually reach a state of maximum entropy where all energy is evenly distributed and the universe will be able to sustain its life. The fate of the universe is still a mystery, but the Big Crunch theory remains one of the possible scenarios. While there's evidence both for and against the theory, the exact timeline of the Big Crunch is still unknown. Until scientists can determine the universe's density and the effect of dark matter and dark energy, we can only speculate the universe's ultimate fate. Whether the universe will continue to expand indefinitely or collapse in on itself remains an open question, but the answer may ultimately help us to better understand the nature of the universe and our place within it. Thanks for watching, like the video and subscribe the channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.